9 months before June. Should be nothing special.
6
and 3. So they are summer babies.
um,
That would make sense. Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
why would that make sense?
People are frisky in the summer. I don't know for sure, but I'm just theorizing. Good morning. Fatim, good morning. And Joan, good morning. Good morning, all of you. These trucks freak me out. You hear me?
I don't like trucks.
And I don't know why they don't do this at night, but they do it during the day. It's always around this time.
Why are they all taking? Where are they going?
I don't know, but they go in this long queue, which freaks you out. Today, at least, I know where they go.
Where are they going?
They're going on the Dubai Road.
All of them?
I think, Joe, good morning. They are all in one direction, and sometimes there's military wire before them.
That's scary.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you doing? Yeah, I'm feeling cute this morning. And the reason why I'm feeling cute is that it's a morning which is so different from my other mornings. It's very different from my typical holiday mornings. But it's also unlike any workday morning that you can imagine. I am off.
Friday.
I thought they were going this way.
Oh, they're not early.
Yeah. Did some of them go down that way? They are so intimidating. I don't know if they are aware or they don't care. Just take up the whole space.
I'd be concerned if they didn't know.
Yeah. Modipe, how you doing? Good morning. Good morning, Nana Kwame Ba. I'm feeling cute this morning because, as I said, the morning is unlike any of my typical mornings. It is a summer holiday for me, that's true. But this morning is unlike any summer holiday because I've actually got a job. But it's also not like any other job, any other times when I'm on the job. Because this one on the job gives you a little bit of flexibility. I don't have a class. So I have the freedoms and liberties to go and get myself a health check. So I'm off for a health check right now. I'm going to see Yelena. Yelena is a doctor I shouldn't really enjoy seeing, but I actually do enjoy seeing because of who she is as a person. What it is she does should be awful. And today I am going to see her about concerns. She and I will have to make decisions that we probably have left hanging. And we know we can't, so any other person, I'll be very apprehensive for this meeting, but being Yelena, I am looking forward to giggling with her over whatever comes. Yeah. And I thought I'll share that with you. I am here with Missy Mo.
Hi.
Hello, Samson. How you doing? Yeah, Missy Mo has turned my car into a salon. But why do you do that thing so small?
So I can frame my face.
You don't want it bigger?
Why would I want it bigger?
I don't know. Just looks like something that could be torn into.
No, it's
That's me and my thinking. Huh? Yeah. Christina, good morning. Good morning. I am feeling cute because I am actually getting to combine things for the first time in my life. I am able to combine working with autonomy. Those two things don't normally gel together. Good morning, Tony. How you doing, bro? Autonomy and working don't seem to go together for me. People were laughing at me yesterday when I was explaining my feelings. I was telling them that when I come to work in the morning and I don't clock in, I feel weird. Because in my entire career, I have clocked in. I have clocked in. I remember now that I've worked in places where there was no clocking in. But even then, there was an idea of when you needed to start work. And were not there at that time, you were late. I have never worked in a place where nobody checks the time you clock in. They want your outcomes, not your clock-in time. You are supposed to check in to all your lessons. You are supposed to attend all meetings and be present for the things that you are required to be present for. And that's all right. Francisca, that's all right. And I'm getting used to being able to. So this morning, for example, I've got reports to do. Reports can be done absolutely anywhere. So I woke up and did some before the published working hours. This would probably have been the start of my working hours, but that's okay. I'm taking back a couple of hours now to go see Elena. And when I'm done with Elena, guess what? I'll come back and finish my reports. And that autonomy makes me feel great. And it's something I hope becomes my norm. I really want it to become my norm. Good morning, Mariam. Accountability. And you are accountable. You are accountable also in this job. Very much so. Yeah. Doblo Doncaster, how are you doing? You are very, very much accountable in this job. In the sense, as if I knew how are you doing? You are very accountable in the sense that you are supposed to be at your lessons, and you must, and you will. When you have one-to-ones with students, you must, and you will. The meetings that need to happen. This week, for example, we've had many meetings, and they have happened. They needed to, and they have. But it's so when I was looking at learner autonomy in my research, teacher autonomy also came up. And at the time I laughed because I didn't know what the hell teacher autonomy was. As a high school teacher, I have no teacher autonomy. Then I see what higher education lecturers have: full autonomy. If you want to sit in your house and mark, then that's fine, as long as your work is marked. There's no need to be in the university. And there are some people who are in the university in the gym. That's the thing we said we would do, which we clearly did not plan to do, did we?
Really good.
No, our idea was to bring the gym wear, and when we are there, pop into the gym.
We still need to decide.
Yeah, but autonomy is a funny word. So yesterday, one of the things that I was teaching my juniors class was the models of leadership. And we were talking about liberation leadership and the advantages of liberation leadership. When the word autonomy came up in a group's presentation, I smiled so broadly that a kid in the corner who has only met me for the second time just looked at me and says, "Oh, the smile on your face, it's so authentic. Care to share why you are smiling?" And I'm like, that word for a human being is the greatest word, autonomy. It is one of the human minds, the human being's greatest need. But it is something that is taken from you consistently, systematically, from when you are a kid. And for most of us, when you lose it, you don't even realize. You don't. The loss of your autonomy becomes so normal. You accept it because it's the norm. And then you have places where you have autonomy. And it's a thing in my leadership that I try very hard to get in. So I'm working with a teaching assistant, for example. This time, usually when I work with teaching assistants, it's because they have special education needs children. And they have, that relationship is different because those people are already in charge of the children. They go everywhere with the children. They know the children. So you default to them doing their thing, and then you instruct on how their thing should be done within your space. This time round, this TA is not special needs and not assigned to anybody, but actually assigned to me. This is my teaching assistant. And one of the first conversations that I had with my teaching assistant was around his hopes and his aspirations for coming on. And when I know his hopes and aspirations, I want to try and design systems that will help him make inroads towards these hopes and aspirations. But the other thing also is to have my TA act in autonomy. He doesn't need to wait for me to decide before he can think. There are certain things. So we needed to set and establish ground rules to let him know how open my systems are. And yesterday, my conversation with him, he says, well, I know you are not afraid of honest feedback. And I'm like, good. I'm glad you know that. It is a model of leadership that I like. I think it's a model of leadership that should be standard for your engagement with all human beings. But it's a scary model of leadership. It requires a lot of work in the early days. You have to invest in capacity building. You really do. Because if you want to do liberation leadership, your people that you are going to liberate must be at capacity. There is nothing more dangerous than an autonomous fool. When an incompetent person is autonomous with no regulation, it's scary. I've also seen some managers in my career be given autonomy with no training, with no skills, with no supervision, and the harm they can do, incredible. So if you're going to do liberation leadership, it's important to do capacity building. So this morning you are just going to the hospital with me, and we are simply freestyling what comes to my mind. My title was that I'm feeling cute, because I actually do. And I'm sharing with you the reasons why I'm feeling cute. I'm feeling cute because, yes, kid.
Actually, I think I have to see my nurses.
Your nurse. My daughter is a special case. She gets to see her nurses. Have you employed a nurse before? So how do you get nurses?
They were my nurses.
I forgot I should have left this kid in the house, you know? So I'm going to this hospital. And when I go to this hospital, it should be about me. Oh no. Oh no. When this girl is around, even the doctor treating me. Today, Yelena has no appointment with this fool, but I have a feeling we will spend quite a good amount of my consultation talking about this idiot. And I'm still not happy about it. All the people who are my treating physicians and people who see me more and should be my friends, and are my friends when she's not around, will suddenly switch allegiance when they see this girl. Tony, you love it. Yeah. Autonomy is something that I was born with. I grew up in the early days with autonomy under my mother's liberation leadership. And you see, as time goes on, the society, yeah, it will go to YouTube now. Oh, that reminds me, I need to go to YouTube and go do. Now I've set it up so that an hour after I post anything to Facebook, it auto posts to YouTube. I need to go and work on the metrics and the other things that will help it to gain traction on YouTube. I don't, but at least it's on YouTube. Rama, how you doing? So now if you go, especially since Facebook decided that they would only delete everything after 30 minutes, I have now done my automations so that it auto posts to YouTube. And that reminds me, I need to go and check and make sure that the re-authentication to Facebook has happened. Facebook has just made everything so annoying. Yeah. Sister Vida and Gifty Joyce, good morning and welcome to the feed. autonomy and liberties, as I was saying, in my very early recollections, I was a very independent thinker. I did what I felt, and there was no external pressure to get me to change anything about how I behaved. Nothing. Then as I grew older, in my teenage years, in my early teens, in my pre-teens and early teens, I now remember, Thelma, it's so good to see you. I'm here daily. I know Facebook doesn't distribute my content as well as they did before, but those of you who want it, you find me. I'm here. As I became aware of society and its expectations, as much as I did not want to conform, it happened, even to me. I was beaten into line. Oh no, tell them my YouTube account is there. And yeah, if you're looking for my full body of work, it probably is going to be on YouTube now, especially this new English content. Yeah. As I became aware of society and its norms, I never subscribed to society and its norms, by the way. I never subscribed. It aggravated me. Many aspects of society and its norms aggravated me, and I did not want to conform. But even in my resistance to conformity, because it's everywhere, because that's what everybody does, you become immersed in societal norms and it seeps into your consciousness without you knowing. That's what happened to me. And yeah, if you compare me to a lot of my compatriots, a lot of my friends will still tell you I was an independent thinker, and I suppose I was to a significant extent, because I did not conform wholly and willingly like a lot of people did. And I still managed to keep some of my autonomy as I went, but certainly in my 20s, I lost significant aspects of my free thinking. I became more cautious. And I think what actually happened, now I'm thinking about it, it wasn't even marriage. Marriage tried, it didn't work. The one thing that has beaten me into submission, into beating me into being careful and cautious and regulated and afraid, is being a mother. Having two little human beings at the mercy of my decisions. Yeah, I'm brave. I am myself not afraid to put myself through discomfort. Don't mind discomfort. I keep saying to people, if it was just left to me, I'd have quit and gone to be a full-time entrepreneur a long time ago. Yeah, my husband doesn't quite fancy that process, and I hear him, but even that would not have been enough to make me stay. It would not have been enough. The one thing that makes me stay is the two human beings who haven't asked to be here, who are at the mercy of my decisions, who I care about so deeply, whose happiness and comfort is important to me. So my own comfort is not that important to me. My comfort is not that important. I can make myself uncomfortable any day. Don't mind. I even enjoy making myself uncomfortable. But it's becoming a mother. That was the one thing that society managed to get over my head, to beat me back down with, to get me to submit and to conform. And so in the latter half of my 20s and throughout my 30s, I was a very conscious mother, very socialized for caution. My decision making has been tame and lame. I've made very tame, very lame decisions for a significant period of my time, and I had wondered why, what got me, and I finally found out. I finally found out what it was. I'm not a coward. Oh God, I'm not a coward. Oh no. Brave decisions, they are not a problem for me, except when, and now that the children are becoming almost independent, I've discovered that the fear that I had of affecting them is also diminishing, because they are themselves capable of standing on their own, of handling their affairs. They don't need me to hover like I used to. And now I find myself actually in positions of bold decisions again. There were episodes where I used to wonder what had happened to me. The little me had fire in my eyes. Defiance of systems was my thing. Challenging status quo was my thing. And then for a long episode, it wasn't. And I wondered what lost me my mojo. I have found what it is. And now that that is also coming to the end, I find my mojo naturally returning. But yeah, there have been many instances in my youth where people would expect you to cower, and I wouldn't. And that was mainly because of how my mother raised me. My mother did not raise me a coward. My mother raised me to be able to do things that she herself was not able to do. She raised me to overcome confines that had limited her, and she didn't want me to experience the same life she had experienced, and for that I am eternally grateful. My mother's upbringing utilized a liberation leadership model way before I even knew what liberation leadership was. Yeah, Melina, how you doing, sis? Good morning to you and welcome to the feed. I have these conversations here because, one, I would like parents to know and appreciate what liberation leadership models do to human psyche. To put you in the capacity to make decisions. So yesterday I was having that conversation with my class. I gave them some work. Where should we submit it? Where should we? I don't know. You hold it. Please tell us where the submission box is. It's because in schools and the way schools happen normally, all the decision, all the direction is done by the teachers. The students don't get any opportunity to practice self-direction. And so whenever they come across a model of self-direction, it's a challenge for them. Are you going? Self-direction, self-leadership is something you should have experience of. And yes, somebody needs to draw you into it. Somebody needs to create prevailing circumstances that invite and support that. So if you are a parent and you would like your children to grow up and be able to make decisions and think, you've got to open your channels and let them think. That is especially true for the children that are not the first. It's natural for the first children. When the first children come, there is space and it's readily available for them to step into. Those things happen. The second and subsequent children, those ones are the ones that you need to think about consciously. Because I think this one, I realized around 14 that Madame here was relying on people to make decisions and do things. What do you think? I looked at this kid one day, I'm like, ooh,
Yeah,
what is happening here?
Because everyone always made decisions for me.
I know. I looked that day and I'm like, what on earth is going on here? Why is this one so indecisive? And then it hit me. There were 3 big characters wanting to protect her from the bad wolves, wanting to do everything for her and make every decision around her. And we had. And getting her to overcome that and step into her own has been one of my greatest challenges and now one of my greatest satisfactions. I think we have made huge inroads, haven't we?
I'm still indecisive, but the things I want to do.
I don't think indecisiveness is something you eradicate. There are natural inclinations towards indecisiveness also. You know, even the most decisive people get indecisive sometimes. That's different. But when it becomes your norm, is the only concern. When you are paralyzed at decision-making points, that is the. And yeah, as a mom, I had to sit down really and have conversations with this self. And let this self realize that it was good to help Althea. It was good to support and protect, but it was very unhelpful to smother. And to remove myself from smothering to liberating was a very tough thing because we had already established routines, the boys and I. Her dad in particular, letting go of certain dimensions was a whole negotiation. But I'm very proud actually of the fact that we've managed to renegotiate and each person step into our new realities.
I don't think any of you realize, but all of you guys are oldest children. I'm not.
We are all
Eldest children.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Oh no, I realize that. And that's why our personalities are the way they are. We are all very dominant characters. There was no running away from it. My husband is the eldest of his siblings and the only son. Position of decision and authority. I am my mother's eldest kid. Position of decision and authority. And her brother is the first kid. Very alpha. So when you have three characters like that in your house, but I think you hold your own though. This one knows how to manipulate all of us.
Manipulate? I don't manipulate. What do you mean?
You have us all around your little finger. What do you mean? You can't tell me you don't know. We are all wrapped around your little finger, including Nana, who thinks he's not. He's helplessly around your little finger, which is hilarious. She knows how to manipulate us all to get her way in the things that she wants. But yeah, in decision making, we were dominating of her spaces, and it took quite a while and a lot of effort to get us to step back, to let her be. I have a friend who has 7 brothers. She could do nothing without the brothers breathing down her neck. And when we were kids, I was very jealous. I wanted 7 brothers to come to my protection, and she hated it. It took me until recently thinking to finally understand what it is she hated. She hated her autonomy taken from her. The brothers would do everything, including everything for her. If she wanted them to wash her, they would wash her. When she was lazy, they fed her. They encouraged her to let them feed to feed her. And some of these things look like love. And they are even born out of love. But they can be quite detrimental. And those are the conversations that I want to have with you. So if you're a parent and you have tendencies, if you're a parent and you don't look in your family dynamics very carefully, you may miss some of the fine details. So yeah, I sat one day, I looked in the mirror and I saw my very dominant self. Then I looked at my husband and I saw a very dominant man. Then I looked at my son and I saw a very dominant boy. And I looked at my daughter and I'm like, oh hell no. Oh hell no. No. We are not going to dominate this one. And yeah, it was my role to actually negotiate with the other dominant characters. Aggressively dominate conversations sometimes towards non-dominion of another character. Let her be, let her go. And there are some of the let her be's, let her go's that my other characters were not fans of. What do you mean? You wanted? Yes, I wanted to. But no buts. Because this one is going to have to learn to live on her own. And it has happened. She's been on her own in university with none of us around. So if we hadn't actually learned to let her go and be, how was she going to cope? Ugochukwu? Ugochukwu, how would she cope? And you have to think about those things around your children. How would they cope when your manipulative self is not around? How would they cope when your dominant self is? Ooh.
You're just going to the place.
Well, that's the best way to go to this hospital. But that's very fancy, isn't it? We've come back into our old area. So this Nissan Patrol, he wants to use both roads.
I don't know what's up with people not being able to skip to the
And if he was driving at the right speed, allowing you to go past him, it will not be an issue. So now all of us behind him cannot go, we cannot come. Oh, okay, we'll sit back because there's no point even getting aggravated over this one.
It's not going to speed up the place.
It's not. So in my growth and maturity, I've learned the best way to deal with this is to disengage. Well, he's done now. There you go. You got a cousin.
I remember my ice cream truck escapades.
Huh?
The ice cream truck escapade.
You were too old to be having ice cream truck
No, but the
escapades
thing
yet.
is, though, you see someone standing there. Hi. Why would you drive past? You're in an ice cream truck. Who do you think?
They were expecting kids this big to be waiting for the ice cream
Who
truck.
said the ice cream has an age limit? There's no age. If a grown man wants ice cream, let him get ice cream. He has money.
Well, I'm sorry. He's not used to grown men waiting for him.
I'm not a grown man.
You were a grown girl.
No. I was still in school.
Girl, you are an adult-sized looking human.
So.
Okay.
Yeah, why should I run in the heat for ice cream? What is this?
So Fuso is also not going to let us go, is it? I wonder what the problem. And he thinks it's funny. Yeah. Anyway, thank you guys for your company. Getting to the hospital. We have arrived at Le Hospital. We're going to go and see Yelena. And then I don't think the security guard knows us.
I don't think so.
Morning. We have an appointment with Dr. Yelena. Thank you.
Thank you.
With doctor?
Yelena.
Thank you.
He just wanted to say Jelena. I cannot bring myself to say Jelena to him.
How do you spell?
It's a J. Is he going to direct us? Or is he not bothered?
No.
Okay. Okay. We've been here. I've not been here for weeks. I don't think the staff know that. Oh, that's what he's directing me to do.
I think he went straight.
Yeah.
Unless he thought he was. But I don't think so.
He pointed to the disabled one to me. That's for sure. But I'm not staying in a disabled car park. There's nothing disabled about me. Sister Kuya. Onyechizonia. Onyechizona. Good morning. Right, let's go see Elena. When we are done, we will be back and chat to you on our drive to the university. I'm sorry. This one, okay. All right, thank you. All right, guys. We'll be back in touch with you in a minute. Bye.